Well, joining me now to share some insight on treatment and resources for individuals living with autism is Deborah Chin, Director of Adult Services for UM-NSU Center for Autism and Related Disabilities, or CARD, and Chairman of CARD's board, Blake Sando. Mr. Sando is also a parent to 3 young children living on the autism spectrum. Thank you both for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Deborah, I want to start with you. First of all, congratulations, because this is the 25th anniversary of CARD.
Yes.
A lot to celebrate. For people who don't know what CARD is or what it does, explain it for us.
So CARD is part of a network of 7 university-based centers located across the state of Florida, and we provide free services to people with autism, their families, and the larger community. Our particular CARD center is a partnership between University of Miami and Nova Southeastern University, and our center covers Miami-Dade, Broward, and Monroe counties. And just with our center alone, we have over 11,000 individuals with autism registered with our center across the lifespan. So CARD serves the entire lifespan from the time that someone's first diagnosed until they're moving through the various stages and transitions in their life. So we're a really special organization, I think, in the sense that we don't have to turn anyone away because they don't have the money to pay for our services. All of our services are free, and we can be there for families from the time they're diagnosed and as they move through different stages.
Right, and that's important to note that the diagnosis happens outside of CARD. You
That's
go to
right.
a specialist to get the diagnosis. Once that has occurred, then the family can go to CARD. And do they come to CARD regularly? What happens after that first initial meeting?
Yeah, and I do want to also add that if someone doesn't have a diagnosis or they suspect and they're not sure where to go, that's something we can help with as well. So typically when families come to us, it's often after they've been first diagnosed, and so they'll meet with a clinician who will do an individual intake appointment, meet with them, assess their needs, and determine what kinds of resources, interventions, strategies, and just resources in general that can help them and their family and their child to be able to make gains and start to address whatever challenges they're having. And after that, that family is assigned to that clinician. That clinician continues to work with them over time, gets to know the family, the child, or the adult, and is able to address the various needs that happen along the way. And so families reach out to us at various points in time. And sometimes some people are going through a difficult time, and we'll hear a lot from them.
Yeah.
And provide them with a lot of support, and other times people might, not need our services for a little while, but then re-engage with us when they're ready.
Blake, I want to, and I'm sure you can speak to that. You're chairman of the board at CARD, but you're also a dad with 3 children on the autism spectrum. So first of all, tell us about your kids and how they're doing and how you all are dealing with this.
Well, they are beautiful kids. My wife Jennifer and I have 3 kids, Lizzie, our oldest girl, Blake Jr., and Teddy, and they are all ages 10, 8, and 4 right now, if I got that correct, as a good dad should.
Yeah.
But in any event, CARD has been such a leader and a resource for us because my wife and I had no history of autism. We're living in South Florida with not much family around, and the only place you can go to if you're a family that has this diagnosis is a place like CARD to allow you to kind of navigate through the very complex stream of therapies, treatments, things like that, and also support. As chairman of the board, I want to emphasize that CARD is not just about the emphasis on the individuals who are affected by autism and giving them resources, but also on supporting the families. And I can't thank Deborah and Michael Alessandri and Jennifer DeRocha for all their help they've given us over the years, guidance as far as support for the parents, the families, the siblings, you name it. Even my employer, Cole Scott & Cassane, which has hired individuals with autism, has actually sought the guidance of CARD to facilitate that, to make it work, and so make that person more productive at the office as well too. So it's a godsend, I think, and we're inevitably grateful for it.
So let's talk about that, because Deborah, you work with adults living with autism.
Yes.
I think when we hear somebody has autism, you automatically think of a child.
Definitely.
But you were mentioning that these clinicians stay with the family all the way through their adulthood.
Yes.
So talk about what you guys do at that center and how important it is for adults living with autism.
Sure. Specifically as it relates to support, some of the things, so we work with families individually to address issues, and many of the issues that start to change over time, particularly as children are leaving school people are trying to figure out what happens next. Where are they going to find their place in the community? Whether it's housing, job training, post-secondary education, all of those things are issues for every young adult, but they're bigger issues for people with autism because they might need special kinds of supports or environments in order to really succeed and live up to their potential. And so at CARD, we run a number of groups. So we provide the individual assistance, but additionally we provide a number of groups that help address various issues. So whether it's support for the parents, family members, and then we have an ongoing job support group. So we have a job club that meets monthly to help job seekers with autism be able to navigate the employment search and be able to understand what to expect, how they need to present themselves, the social skills, and just practicing the skills related to job searching. And then we also do, every summer, we have our Job Seekers program, and that's happening this summer.
Okay.
So that takes place across our Dade and our Broward offices. And it gives adults with autism a chance to interact with each other in a group environment, learn about the social skills that are really necessary to succeed in the workplace, as well as what they need to do to be successful in their job search. And so that's one aspect, in addition to us providing free training. That's one of the great things that CARD does, is provide free training and support to the community. So we can train employers, we can, train other types of professionals who want to make space for people with autism in their environment.
That's an important piece of the puzzle, isn't it? Going into these various employers. I know you said, Blake, that your firm hires people on the autism spectrum, but to really train others about how to deal with people who have autism, right? A lot of people don't know how to deal with them. So that's great that you provide that. Blake, let's talk about, you have 3 children on the autism spectrum. So I think people's automatic sense is, oh, this must be biological then. Talk about that. People want to know what causes autism. And you said you all have been tested. Walk us through that. And they haven't found a biological link, right?
Correct. There is no autism gene, although my wife and I have 3 children and all of them do have autism. So certainly we've gone through the genetic testing. We participated in the SPARK study as well too. But as of now, there isn't any genetical link to autism. So, you know, it's a bit of a mystery for us, and the process is even more intimidating when you think about the fact that there's no history of autism in the actual family. But again, that's what makes the CARD, Resource Center so nice and available to families like us, because even though we're dealt with this immense challenge, as a lawyer, I feel like I can work through a lot of different problems here, but this autism is daunting for anybody, and to have that facility and to have those resources available has just been wonderful for my wife and my family.
You mentioned the SPARK study. Deborah, dive into that a little bit. That started last year, correct? It's been a year going now.
That's right. And it's a national study, and CARD is one of the centers that's helping to recruit participants and samples. So people can participate by giving a saliva sample, and they're able to sign up online from their home and get the kit mailed to their home. And as Blake mentioned, because we don't know the true cause of autism, this is a really important, first of its kind, large-scale study to gather enough samples to make meaningful inferences and research about what might be causing autism.
Talk about, people think that it's vaccines.
Yes, and so it's a very common misconception, and so the studies that did implicate vaccines have been discredited, and that's why so much more research is needed, because people really don't know. And so that's why we continue to support things like the SPARK study, so people can learn more and get involved.
And my children too did jump in on that and broke up the MMR vaccine as well too. So I can say there's absolutely no link between that and the diagnosis for autism.
We want to talk about Tropical Nights. That's your fundraising event. Blake, you want to talk about that? That's coming up.
Yes, it's going to be April 28th, Saturday night, and people who are interested, it's the one time a year where CARD can raise money, support the critical services that CARD provides. And the website is tropicalnights.org, and I would encourage all your viewers to go there and make a donation or support in any means they can. But absolutely, it's the one time a year where we can kind of celebrate those who give so much to the autism community, at the same time raise a lot of much needed money for it.
Yeah, how important is that, Deborah, for that fundraising?
Yeah, we're funded by the Department of Education, but so many of the programs and groups we offer would not be possible without private fundraising. So it's really critical for us to be able to raise money so that we can do more and more for the community.
We thank you both so much for being here to talk about this.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you gave a lot of folks hope today. They know where to go to get help, because I'm sure that first diagnosis for families when you hear your child has autism can be a very scary one indeed. So we appreciate it. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And for more on the Spark study, autism spectrum disorder, and local resources, you can call CARD at 1-800-9-AUTISM or visit their website, umcard.org. As always, we're going to have all of this information for you up on our Facebook page at Your South FL.